Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another scene for Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York, where at the Sept of the Green, some epic battle has gone down. We've seen hunter spiders, we've seen at least one stasis vector, and Lord knows how many we didn't see. And then what were those other things called? Chaos something or another?
It was a chaos. Oh no! Now you got me fucked up.
It was CM were the initials. Another bigger spider scorpion thing. I don't know. But yeah, the Weaver in fucking force came at the Sept. And not only did a small group of Garou fight their way through and handle a stasis vector, but in the wake of that, as more hunter spiders descended, the Sept itself rallied to where even those who normally remain on the Sept and play guardian to the kinfolk or to the grounds themselves were brought up and all fought against the oncoming waves of Weaver spirits until the enemy was defeated. And in the wake of this, no doubt a number of people are bruised and battered. The ones that have their blood up are whooping and hollering, celebrating, and as everyone goes their own way, separates into groups, gets drinks, tends to their wounded, we have a group of, well, at least 3 that are wandering off the field together. With 10 Point trailing behind and rubbing idly at where, there were holes there earlier, but you know what? It's fine now. She really does need to make more Gaia's breaths, though. And so how are the others doing in the wake of it?
Aiden Lynch, well, he's pretty happy, He always does seem alive in the middle of a fight, as he kind of walks quite confidently, ruffling his hair, dusting himself down. He just seems quite pumped, really, panting still a bit as he's been leaping around, pile driving things into the ground and slashing things, and being the vicious ragabash that he is, he just seems quite with a big grin on his face, looking around the place.
And Felix is still walking with them in Krynos as he after a little while he'll relax back down into Hamid and look down the side of his sniper rifle, check the chamber, reload it, and then tuck it back away. Ultimately, he didn't take a scratch, but his face is he's not as happy as Aiden, I'll tell you that.
Aiden'll just take a sigh. Can we go back to my wife after this? He actually grinned to himself. Nothing like a woman after a fight, Felix.
Yeah. I'll have to see how things are feeling when I get back.
Hey, burst in, all adrenaline, like, telling you. You grin.
No, I know my stuff. Brow waggle. But I don't know. I at least need a beer first.
Hey, they'll walk, and probably his kinfolk will run up to him, hand him a few, and kind of, filter around, and he'll toss one to Felix and open one.
Fucking catch. And with something he'll pop off the top and have his first sip of beer.
Didn't he, considering the nature of the previous conversation, 10 Point has hung back a little, gotten real quiet. This is an awkward subject. She's just gonna... Nope.
Probably plonk himself down, not on the porch, not on the the chairs, just on the porch step itself, sprawling.
Yep.
That was a good fight.
Felix will walk up and still stand, but kind of lean his back against the railing. still being relatively close to eye level, holding his beer at about chest level, saying, "Yeah, it even if it's true, it doesn't feel good to be called a traitor."
Fuck him anyway. Aiden will grin lazily as he takes a drink.
I don't know. I don't know how things are going to be dealing with them from now on.
It's always going to be tense. We're fighting them for a reason. So, I'd rather you be called a traitor to them than a traitor to the Sept.
Yeah.
It may not be the preferred tactic, Raya, but sometimes control over spirits is necessary rather than an alliance with. And she plunks down right at the foot of the stairs, leans her back on the support for the rail, and will actually be reaching into her swag and tug out wrapped in paper, a big-ass hunk of clay and start idly shaping it, making something along the size of a small pot, and setting it aside and repeating the process. It's fairly simplistic.
Fucking stasis vector again.
Those things are fucking fucked.
When I was still compromised, there was a moment in one of my dealings with a pattern spider where I got a glimpse, just a glimpse, at every pattern spider in Manhattan. Damn near all of New York, even. But fuck. I know that a chaos monitor
Mm-hmm.
is it's formed when a bunch of spiders come together, and it makes me think, how many went into making that? What are their numbers looking like? How are they pumping out more? I need more time to crunch numbers, but I feel like there's an avenue there that I should be able to help with that I can't.
It's odd.
It stands to reason, at least, that if they were willing to throw so much in one attack, and it was still... And she kind of pauses, like waffling her head a bit, little enough that it could be repulsed. It must mean that the Weaver within the city is in dire straits in the wake of the attacks that have been made.
Yeah.
It won't be so much of a thing to contend with in the future.
No, those hospitals, like I was telling the Wormfoe and Storms Through Lava, they at Cyber Solutions really put all their eggs into that one basket. And when we hit them hard. I know there's been talks of the next step, maybe taking it straight to the headquarters. It's gonna be something. But
won't they see it coming?
It's entirely possible. In fact, at this rate, it's probable. So, whatever happens, there's extremely little we can do to mitigate it, and I can't help but feel like if we lost Sobek just attacking the first stronghold, if we're going to lose more.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Was there silver used in either attack?
No.
Good.
Some
Good.
sort of maybe carbon fiber or laser etched steel. Whatever it was powerful when we fought the cyborgs, robots, something.
She kind of pops her brows on that.
hmm When we when what is now known as the Urban Vigil went in with Sobek, we faced off against 4 of them. Just 4. And while we managed to take them all out, it cost us Sobek. 4.
You should inform the others of this. After all, I'm sure Skullguard is making a plan to assault the place.
Yeah. We should get with them on that. We're the ones that know closest to anything of a floor plan, having been in there.
Is
Yeah,
there any chance,
should.
Raya? Is there any chance, Raya, that if they are made of machinery, there's something you can do to shut them off or overload them, or I believe we talked in the past of using viruses. Something to keep them from effectively fighting us, because if so, it's still a preferable option to attempting such a thing in the Umbra, where the Weaver is strongest.
The closest thing I could think of is to petition the electricity spirits to abandon the building. And even then, their individual units are highly advanced. They don't respond to the gifts that Cockroach and his brood have given. And when it comes down to it, I've seen what happens when you try to play them at their own game. So all we have are our claws. And like I said, possibly petitioning the electricity spirits, but it's another thing entirely.
And she mulls over this, keeps poking and prodding. And she's working her way through a handful of rough little, again, just small little clay pots. They're obviously the start to the guy's breaths she produces. Perhaps, Raya, these are your specialty. But you are already very deeply knowledgeable about these things. Perhaps if I aided you in creating something, some sort of boon, not quite a Talon, not something you would reproduce carelessly, but some single-use boon from a spirit. Perhaps I could offer a chiminage that someone who is ignorant to such things could pay. I imagine it would be an easier thing to pay and an easier thing to think of than for you, who is already well-versed, to think of something to advance beyond that.
You know just as I do, when it comes to doing what we do, having a shoulder to help carry the burden means worlds. So thank you, 10 Point.
She smiles faintly. I have had little luck in the making of talons or fetishes, but boons I'm more well versed in. And perhaps if we can get a boon particular to knowing that you'll be fighting people, mechanical people, we can take the legs out from under them, or at least out from under their main assault force.
It's... What about you, Aiden? Have you seen anything I haven't seen?
It was shrug. None. I just usually fight. I don't really care as long as it goes down. Like I said, I've seen a few weird things, but you know more than me. Besides, we need to talk to Skovgard anyway about Marissa. That's why I'm more concerned about the actual worm rather than the Weaver.
Speaking of Marissa, I actually, I did exactly as you suggested.
I'm not. Okay.
I acted to her social media, her Twitter, and her personal email. I even set up a backdoor so I could get in easier with with the security that I'm very confident in. Very.
You're not. So do we have a way to hit her or not?
Well, I know where she's going to be for the next month and a half.
Right, perfect, right. Say that for Skovgard. We'll break down what we need to know and all the information together. And we'll get his permission to then to do what we need to do.
He nods.
He'll then take a drink and look around. I also have that young fella tracking her as well, getting the pictures, getting the license plate. Test what he's capable of. If he's as good as he is fighting, we might have a handy little soldier I can send out every now and again.
Yeah. He's done good. He's done damn good. Whatever we do from here on, what I have with her schedule, we can't fuck that up. We need the utmost stealth on it, so I trust you and Shady, and whoever you trust, I trust.
Yeah. We'll go through it. And if needs be, it can just be two of us going in there and doing our thing. We'll make it quick and clean. We're not going to be on the headlines with this one.
No. I tried. See, oh man, you're gonna fucking love this, and I know we gotta save some of this for Skovgard, but when I was in her email, I saw correspondence with Taryn Filch. That email that we saw the last time we looked at the laptops, and identical ones. He's constantly clearing his shit. There's not even an IP address that I can track from jump to jump. He is a fucking ghost.
Jesus. Huh. So how do we catch a guy like that?
Tell you when I find out. Tell me if you find out first.
Usually the key is to set some bait. Wait for him to bite, and when he does, hit him with everything we have.
Yeah.
I just nod and look down. There was nothing, really look up. There's nothing about her, was there?
Not exactly. I did see was in the email chain there were mails related to someone with the last name of that. And he looks cautiously at 10 Point and then back to him.
She is so studiously not paying attention right now.
You don't even need to P&E this. I can just give it to you. Yeah, he's just kind of verifying that it's cool to.
He'll just nod once.
Okay.
She mentioned that, and she was making sure her father was out of it, so it's more or less verifying what I need to know.
Could just be old emails.
He'll just nod.
Honestly, yeah. Honestly, I didn't get a timestamp on it, so.
From what I understand, she's taken over the reins of the company for now, so she can direct it away as far as you can, which is fine. That means she's out of the picture.
Mm. God. Cyber Solutions, Campbell, Filch, Green.
They were Endron before.
Fuck. At least we can. At least we have a face for our enemy. In the Amazon, it was just whatever smelled foul.
He'll just nod.
It seems to be an unending chain, Raya. And if something sits too long without poking its head up, it risks being forgotten, like Castrophony. I'm still fully convinced that he rests under that plastics factory.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we need to get that tour set up again. Good work on that 10 Point.
Well, she nods lightly. Perhaps if I was
wait.
able to speak to a spirit, I was tempted to jump into those pools, but there's no telling how long they go or where they go.
At the same time, you saw Talate jump into that, and she's she's still bald.
It could be a necessary consequence if it leads us to finding what we need to find.
Yeah, I guess.
It is not my preferential tactic, but it seems like a direct line to where the corruption could be coming from.
I'll see if I can get a ping off that man your man who went missing. He'll just nod to himself.
Yeah, Felix raises his brows, kind of impressed. So, I've heard of that skill before. I didn't know you had it.
I'll nod. How do you think I found the man who killed my father?
Yeah.
You can feel their heart beating, Felix. He'll go da-dum, da-dum against the wood.
So, do you know when we're going after that?
Soon. It's a very, like, voice. He sounds like full of this, like, primality when he says it. Very soon. And I just have one rule. He comes back alive, or we're taking him.
Yeah.
And finally, 10 Point will glance up, looking in particular to Felix. If you know of an abandoned warehouse or some other likely place.
Somewhere in the trees, especially.
An abandoned warehouse in the trees?
She looks a little
Somewhere
puzzled.
somewhere in the woods, Felix, I want him. A warehouse to do fine, but the woods is where I really want him to go.
After we've got him, you mean?
Oh, aye.
Right. Well, I know Teresa has hookups with, what are they? Storage containers.
If you want him in the woods, it would be as simple as throwing him in one of the vans, taking him up north. There's enough wild space there.
If it came down to it. Sorry, good.
I don't want Teresa sniffing around what I'm doing.
Well,
she might stop what's about to happen out of ignorance and not understanding of our culture.
Well, worst case scenario, I'm sure Owen wouldn't mind lending us the barn.
Raise an eyebrow. Who?
Owen, right?
Owen. The kinfolk up north?
He'll just nod. Yeah, that one, yeah. He'll just nod. Kind of like shaking his head as he takes a drink.
We'd do another trip regardless, right? Perhaps while we were up there we can take a look around, ensure that there's enough unwatched wild space.
He'll just nod, of course. You're welcome to join, Felix. To watch.
Choke my own spit. Sorry. But yeah, hell, I'll set up a camera and you can relive that moment as many times as you want.
Raise an eyebrow. I don't want to snuffle him, Felix.
I mean, to be fair, even 10 Point looks a little surprised at that response.
Well, I know that if I was in your shoes and if I found my dad's killer, I'd savor every second of it.
He'd smile. Why do you think I'm taking his skull and drinking from it?
Raises his brows.
Once the brain is given to Dana,
A little backup nod.
I'll make that into my drinking glass. So I look into his eyes every time I take a drink.
Got just the response for that. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. Oh. Yeah, that's really old school, man.
It'll kind of give him the look, like raises the eyebrows a bit. Do you know what's going to happen to him, Felix, when we get him here?
Oh, I'm sure I'm about to find out.
Well, if you'd like to know.
On one hand, I get the feeling you want to tell me, and on the other hand, a little surprise doesn't hurt every once in a while. I leave it in your hands.
Let's just say, Felix, his last breath will be my gift to my alpha. But the last thing he'll see will be my eyes staring right into his soul, and the Margu will have the rest of his body.
Fuck yeah! Goes for another sip.
And for what it's worth, I don't know if Robbie remembers, but I'm sure Felix has seen it. Banshee does have Death's Breath as her spirit heritage.
Yeah, I honestly, thinking back, I don't think they've ever been in the Umbra together.
Oh, wow, really?
Yep.
Oh boy. Oh
That's
boy.
going to be a fun surprise.
You see, he'll, with the click of his fingers, like basically summon 10 point to him.
Oh yeah, she pops up.
And he'll sit there almost like he's on a throne on the step and will, rub 10 points hair and just stare at Felix. It's not, there's no savagery in the stare. There's just this cold blankness to it. He's going to be looking at me like this as I watch Felix.
Huh. All right. It's gonna, yeah, it's gonna feel cool and stuff. Yeah.
Aiden will smile at him slightly. Like I said, you have an invitation to join, and any of the other pack members of yours can, especially Skovgard. I'm sure a Fenrir would appreciate this.
You can tell him yourself when we talk to him.
He'll smile. I'm from an old sept, Felix. This is the way we handle revenge.
Well, you've seen how the Sept of the Windcatchers handles anything outside of the rules, really. So, I'm no stranger to revenge. Sept of the Windcatchers is one that's evolved over thousands of years. I imagine thousands. I admittedly don't know the whole Sept's history, but I've seen my share of traditionals, and
What was that new Cleat's opinion of Fianna? Again, Felix, remind me.
Nucleus. You talking about Shinlo?
Ah, yeah, the happy one.
I think he spoke highly of your folk heroes.
That we're happy, merry people, right?
Yeah, he did say that with a T and the yeah. Yep.
You're about to see the real Fianna that night. You're about to see why the Fenrir hold us in equal rank.
With what I have learned, Raya, researching so that I can do more with the body back in Owen's barn, I should be able to make it last significantly longer.
Just make sure he does not look away from me.
If I have to brace his neck, Raya, he will not.
The same way as he made me look at him. They have this odd smile on his face.
One way or another, Raya, he will not.
And 10 Point will feel that bit of darkness in that pack, Link. As he's thinking about it. That festering rage that's in Aiden. So you look up at Felix. Do you think maybe it'll stop then?
Maybe. I am. Knowing what I know about what happened to my father, just the thought that that the people that took him down were out of the question, out of the picture, out of everything, all of existence. That helped a lot.
Answer me this question, Felix. What happens if he has a family?
That was forfeit the moment he laid hands on yours.
Twists. So should I kill his wife like that?
No.
Why not?
Did his wife wrong you? See, what we fight to do every day is to cut the corruption of the Triad out of our suffering Gaia. So, by the same respect, if he's the only sickness in that family, the only bit that's wronged you, why not just cut off that? If you know, if your hand was infected, even just your thumb. Let's say you got cut by a rust spider and there was some manner of wormish, weaverish taint that began to take over down to the bone. Would you cut off your whole hand or just your thumb?
I'd take the whole hand.
Just as we do not kill kin for the sins of their guru, unless these people aided him in what he did. They are not our targets.
Our targets. That's when he turns slowly, twisting his head.
Yeah.
Raya, we are family.
We've seen the hurt you've gone through, or at least some of it. And you've invited us to join you in gaining your revenge. So yeah. Well, you get the last say, get the last word, the last kill. They're still our targets.
Do not think for a moment, Raya, that this hunt would be abandoned if something would happen to you. It is no longer just your hunt.
Oh, I know nothing's bad's gonna happen to me. I just made a promise that I'd exterminate his entire family like he did mine. You see, I made a very interesting oath to myself. It's actually what we call here, back home, a geas. It's a curse. No effect or anything, no magical shite. It's a vow that I will wipe out his entire line for the blood of mine.
Then why did you ask?
I wanted to see who would stop me.
Huh? 10 Point gives up the ghost as soon as he says he's put himself under a geas.
Yeah, and that's when 10 Point gets hit with that vision he saw in Malpheus. This is him killing the people he loves to get at this guy.
Well, Aiden, I'll help you take down the big bad wolf, but With all due respect, I'm not going to shoot fish in a barrel.
You'll nod. Or will you stand in my way?
No. I don't have the right. I don't have the authority. I don't even have the desire. But I've said all I can say. And at the end of the day, it's what you want. This is your revenge to be had. And no one has the right to get in your way for any small piece of it.
Someone did once. He'll smile. Like I said, and I brought my pack trouble because of that.
Yeah. Well, he's not going to be on this mission, is he?
If I see him anywhere near that, he just doesn't finish.
You will not, Raya.
Well, either way, Felix extends the neck of his bottle over to Aiden and says, "To revenge."
And he'll clink, and once he does, that kind of wall comes immediately back up for 10 point. And he'll return to that very happy, cheery, smiley Aiden.
I don't know if the camera, or not camera, mic picked that up. I'll do it again.
Yeah, did. He'll smile. Anyway, I've got a lovely wife I need to see before we go out anywhere else. Because I need to get some stress relief. And he'll like clink bottles of Felix, down it, and we'll bonk 10 point in the head with his finger, and we'll, whistle as he's walking in.
The sound effects make it better.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just boops 10 point and then strides in whistling.
10 Point is contented with being booped and with his wall coming back up. We'll scooch back down to wrap up the wad of clay again, and actually probably in damp fabric before it's in like old newspaper. But we'll wrap it back up and tuck it back into her bag, taking the one she's already formed and sticking them up on the rail of the porch where they can dry themselves out thoroughly.
Felix will eyeball them with a bit of curiosity. But otherwise he won't say much. Admiring their craftiness. Craftsmanship? Craftsmanship.
That word, yes.
Craftswomanship.
Perfect. Not a mouthful at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, she'll offer him a respectful nod. Is there anything else I can help you with, Raya?
Today you heard a detail about me that I don't share with anyone. That is a detail that you are going to keep secret. And should you fail, you will find out exactly how traditional I can be.
And she inclines her head deeply, very respectfully, far more than she normally gives him, just because he seems to not especially care for the gestures. Of course, Raya. It is not my story to tell.
He'll nod, and he'll stop leaning on the on the railing, and as he walks by, he'll give her a pat on the shoulder with his hand as he walks on home.
And yeah, as he moves past her, I assume head forward, her eyebrows pop up a bit. But she will fail entirely to comment on it because why question a good thing? And she will be contented, and as such will go about preparing, going through her bags and whatnot, and just generally making sure that she is ready for this next fabulous road trip. And so with that, I think we can say thank you, players, for playing and watchers for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York.